Before, it was literally just a case of, you used to phone up, speak to somebody, which was 9 till 5, Monday to Friday. Now you can report anything. Thames Valley Housing don't need to do any extra work on the Monday because it's all done online.
The main thing that I like about it is it's really easy to use. It's clear, there's only a few tabs, there's not too much information there, it's condensed and you can find what you're looking for within minutes.
For example, on here we've got the new repairs. So you've got a section for reporting home repairs, you've got a section for reporting communal repairs, and then one for at the estate as well. It's very easy to know that you're reporting a repair for you, and you've always got the emergency contact as well. So if there is a problem, you've got that number that you can phone. There's only been one time in the 2 years I've needed to use the emergency number.
I use MyTVH on my phone, on my computer at work, on my laptop, on my iPad. I use it wherever I am, whatever device I've got closest to me.
From the start, we've really allowed our design approach to be shaped by our research findings. So one of the earliest insights that we had during the discovery phase was that more than 30% of their residents use a mobile device as their primary internet access device, which has implications about how we built the service. So from the beginning, we made sure that it was a really good experience on a phone or a tablet, and we kind of then moved forward to doing desktop work and making sure things also work well in a normal browser, kind of slightly further down the line. And we also tried to keep the branding and the aesthetic very simple, very uncluttered, allowing people to sort of focus on the things that they were trying to achieve rather than going for sort of whizzy things that look shiny but don't really achieve anything.
So at DXW we work in sprints. Sprints are 2 weeks worth of work where the developers go away and they make a change on the site. At the end of this 2-week sprint, we come back and talk to the residents and we get their feedback. So we find out about the types of problems that they're experiencing with the site, we find out where the site has got better or worse perhaps, and then we go straight back and do another sprint which works directly on that feedback from that session.
It's a time set aside where we can all sit down as a development team, say what went well, what went badly, and importantly what things should go forward into the next chunk of work. One thing we use day to day is our physical storyboard. It contains all the bits of work we do, and at all points you can see who is working on what, at what stage that work is. Has it been delivered to the client yet, or is it still in development? And anyone in the company can see this and have input.
I fed back a lot of things and the website changed ever so slightly, and the whole thing ran a lot smoother. And then they added more features, like you can pay your rent online, you can do your repairs.
We can't build a resident-focused service without residents coming in, telling us what it is that they need, telling us what's wrong that we've done. We can't fix it if we don't know that it's wrong. MyTVH is just a tool for residents to use, and so for us it's residents first.
So picking up the business case for how to develop something like MyTVH is an interesting challenge because actually no one's done it yet.
If you can make the basic services, the bread and butter of what we do, as easy as possible, it frees up time for our staff to be able to deal with those real human individual service needs on a day-to-day basis, so they can spend more time doing the things they need to do and less time doing intensive things over the phone or in person, and it can all be done online.
So for example, taking our online payment service, we know we've moved about 1,000 phone calls a month to people making payments online. And each of those 1,000 phone calls would have been 3.5 minutes on the telephone. It would have been 14 days before we got the money. Now it's done in 3 days and we don't have the 3.5 minute phone call. So we're measuring as we go the value that we're adding at each stage of the process.
As we're able to review what we do very often, we can kind of get a clear idea of where things are working well, where things aren't working so well, and kind of make changes very quickly. So we can create something, get it tested, get that feedback, and then make it better very quickly.
We're using data much more in terms of making our decisions. We've got real analytical information coming out from the services so that we can make real decisions about what's going on, rather than that gut feeling, oh, I reckon it's this or I reckon it's that's happening. We can actually use the data and say we know who's using our services, what time they're using it, what devices they're using, what the age group is, etc. So we can make real decisions about our services.
We now know that More than half of our users are using mobile devices. Most of the time that's a smartphone or a tablet. Just under half of our users are using a desktop computer or a laptop computer. So it means we know it's really important that we've gone down the road of doing responsive design, which means that it's working for them really well on a mobile phone or on a tablet.
It doesn't have to be face-to-face, it doesn't have to be over the phone. People can access it out of hours. We can pick that up, we can deal with it, we can deal with things automatically. So I think there's a real benefit to the customer and there's a real benefit for us in terms of how we utilise our staff and our time.
It just makes life a lot easier and it's a lot less stressful. You know, it's a fantastic website now, but they will constantly still evolve it as time goes on.